Welcome to Terra Nova, the place where we explore the fascinating aspects of our Earth and the cosmos. Today, we pose a captivating question. What would happen if humanity suddenly vanished from the Earth? How would our absence impact nature and the environment? Let's dive into this hypothetical world. In a world without humans, nature would experience a remarkable resurgence. Human activity has altered or destroyed many natural habitats. Without us, these ecosystems would develop freely and regenerate. Forests would regrow, wetlands would recover, and nature would unfold its original beauty. But how would this exactly look? Imagine standing in a city that was once inhabited by people. The streets are empty, the buildings abandoned. But it's not silent. You hear the buzzing of insects, the chirping of birds, and the rustling of the wind through the trees. Nature has reclaimed its place. Plants grow through the asphalt, trees break through windows and doors, and animals have taken refuge in the abandoned buildings. The city, once a symbol of human achievements, is now a thriving ecosystem. In just 1 year, 75% of the paved streets and sidewalks in cities could be covered with vegetation. Nature would rapidly spread and take over human structures. And this is just the beginning. Over time, cities would transform into new types of ecosystems, with the diversity of plants and animals coexisting in an environment that is both natural and artificial. The animal kingdom would also be heavily impacted by our absence. Many species that have suffered due to human activity could recover and thrive, but not all animals would benefit. Some that heavily relied on us might struggle to adapt. In the first months after humans disappear, pets and farm animals would suffer the most. Without human care, many of them would not survive. However, those that do could adapt and become wild. Dogs might live in packs and hunt, while cats would rely on their natural hunting skills. In cities, animals like rats, pigeons, and cockroaches that heavily depend on human waste would need to adapt. Without our waste, their populations might initially decline, but they are adaptable and could find new food sources. In the wilderness, many endangered species would have a chance to recover. Without human disturbances, they could rebuild their populations and resume their natural behaviors. There could be a renaissance of biodiversity, with ancient species returning and new ones emerging. Our cities would also undergo dramatic transformations. Without maintenance and repairs, they would decay and be reclaimed by nature. Skyscrapers and bridges might resist for a while, but ultimately, nature would take back its place. In the first months and years, cities would be silent. Without the noise of traffic and people, the only sounds would be natural ones. The buildings would be empty and dark, without electricity and upkeep. However, they would not remain empty. Plants would start to take over the buildings. They would grow through cracks in the concrete, penetrate through windows and doors, and eventually break the buildings from the inside. Animals would utilize these new habitats. Birds would nest in the upper floors of skyscrapers, while small mammals would find shelter in the lower levels. Over time, cities would evolve into new types of ecosystems, with a variety of plants and animals coexisting in an environment that is both natural and artificial. In a world without humans, nature would not only reclaim its splendor, but also begin a fascinating phase of repopulation. With the absence of human pressure, some animal species that were once rare could multiply rapidly and colonize new areas. In the expansive cities, not only plants and animals would find new homes, but also wild animals that were displaced by urbanization. Suddenly, we might discover foxes, deer, or even bears curiously wandering through the deserted streets. In the oceans, formerly endangered marine creatures like whales, dolphins, and turtles might nest on beaches that were once bustling with human activity. Their return would not only be a conservation success story, but also restore the delicate balance of marine ecosystems. Without human influence, plants would also undergo significant changes. While some agricultural crops bred for human consumption might decline, wild plant species would flourish. With the recovery of forests, rare tree species might have a chance to thrive again and provide habitat for numerous animal species. Interestingly, the global carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere could decrease as forests expand, and plants absorb more CO2. This could further influence climate change and ease the transition into the post-human era. In a world without humanity, our once highly advanced technologies and achievements would be forgotten. Satellites would gradually fall from their orbits, electronic devices would decay, and modern structures would turn into ruins. Yet some traces of our existence might endure. The pyramids in Egypt or the Eiffel Tower in Paris could stand as witnesses of our past civilization. Archaeological sites would tell the story of humanity when explored by future life forms. In a human-free world, an unparalleled silence would reign. No hum of cars, no crowds flowing through the streets, no techno beats thumping from nightclubs. Instead, the sounds of nature would reclaim the foreground, the babbling of a brook, the rustling of the wind in the trees, the chirping of crickets in the darkness. For the remaining animals, the return of silence would mean a drastic change. Stress and anxiety caused by the noise of human civilization would vanish, and they could rediscover their natural behaviors. The idea of a world without humanity is both fascinating and unsettling. Our absence would undoubtedly lead to profound changes. Nature would regain its splendor, threatened species could recover, and the Earth would enter a state not shaped by our presence. However, it's crucial to emphasize that this hypothetical world without humans would also bring its own challenges and uncertainties. Restoring ecosystems and the return of animal and plant species would be processes that take time and could be influenced by numerous factors. The concept of a post-human world should also inspire us to contemplate our current impact on the planet. Through sustainable actions and the protection of the natural environment, we can contribute to preserving the beauty and diversity of our Earth, a responsibility we bear as inhabitants of this unique planet. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey at Terra Nova. May the awareness of our impact on Earth inspire us to chart a more sustainable path into the future. And with that, we conclude our journey at Terra Nova. We hope these thought experiments have inspired you and made you more aware of the importance of conservation. If you enjoyed this journey, feel free to subscribe to our channel to discover more fascinating content about our planet and the universe. Thank you for watching, and until next time.